Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we got this story right now. As you can see, during the pandemic, we got a lot of people that are currently still working. A lot of people who are working in a sector of supermarkets. Obviously, the mail. you- Um, Most of those people who work in the mail, primarily, people who work for Amazon and other people who, the people who work. On
GE.
the farms and electric companies who are making products for hospitals and other essential needs. But so these workers right now they're demanding higher wages and better conditions during their workplace because their whole entire lives they've been told they were not essential at all. But now it just turns out that they're very essential and they need um, to be recompensated if they're gonna put their lives in danger or lives in risk. Because you see, right, people right now, the Trump administration is saying that they are estimating that about 200,000 people might die and 100,000, no, and 1 million people might get infected. And obviously, people are like, "What?" Right? And so these workers are saying, if we're gonna put ourselves in the line, our families in the line, then you better put better working conditions for us and pay us a better living wage, more than $15 an hour. They're asking even $20 an hour, even $30. People are just saying, yeah, their value that and more,
Yeah.
right? For example, labor unions from General Electrics are demanding that they should switch from making the kind of products they're making towards making ventilators. Because as you find out, we're in a shortage of ventilators. The Trump administration didn't want to buy them because of that. The prices of the ventilators had gone to maybe $50,000 each. So General Electric unions and saying, "Hey, look, we got all the tools, all the materials to do that. How come we don't switch to do that?" So they're planning to come together and strike and ask that they should move into making these ventilators for the sake of benefit of society and everyone who's in need for those ventilators in the hospitals and whatnot, and the upcoming people that are gonna get infected.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that, Kenneth?
I mean, typical capitalist BS. I mean, it's like, come on. We all know what's going to happen, right? They're going to come out here with some PR campaign BS about, oh, look, we care about community. Because think about how this is how long G's been saying it. Like GE specifically, as they have a commercial, we care about the community. We invest in this. We do all that. It doesn't mean anything if people are dead. So the day they say, hey, do something for mankind, right? We'll come in, we'll work for free because they're laid off, right? We'll come in, we'll work for free, we'll make these ventilators. They're like, nah, that's cool. Like it's just like it shows you like they're always full of shit. Like they're always like when people say you demonize the rich, damn straight you demonize them because they're always full of shit. Like no matter what they say, and one thing, they're always full of shit. You say, well, not all billionaires, maybe not, but
Yeah,
like everything else, right?
like
if
Elon Musk.
no, it's like I said, bro. It's like
But
everyone
Elon
else.
Musk,
Like if everyone else
uh-huh.
has to get their people in line, billionaires gotta get their people in line too. Like if everyone else has to sit there and tell their allies, their friends, their family, oh, stay under control, then billionaires gotta do it too. Like, cause like you know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous. Like these guys own a company and they're not gonna help out the people. And then people say, I know people are gonna say like, "Oh, this is a private company. They don't have to." It's like, okay, cool. They're a private company. Cool. Tax the shit out of them and give them no tax refund because that's what they're getting. They're not getting taxed and they're getting tax refund, but they have the right to use the roads. Don't pay for them. They use bridges. Don't pay for them. They get money back somehow. All right. Don't want to pay people living wages. Stock buybacks. They want to use our infrastructure. They want to use all the stuff that Americans have built up, but then they don't want to pay for it and complain when you try to make them do something good for society. Why do we have these things again? because it gives people something to distract themselves with while killing themselves. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. And what's the other story? Amazon workers.
Yeah. So in New York, there was Amazon workers who they demanded more protective gear, better conditions, and higher pay. They demanded high hazard pay because if they get sick, they don't have health care. So they said hazard pay so they can go get care in case they get it. So you need hazard pay, which is an increase in pay. They didn't get it despite still working and everyone calling them essential. And so they went on strike. And it wasn't that many people, but they did start going on strike. And then Amazon fired them that same day. Because, like I said, not only does Amazon believe that workers shouldn't get paid a lot, but they don't believe they should have better working conditions. They don't believe. Remember, this is the same company that said that docked their workers' pay if they went to the bathroom. So just keep that in mind. These people are not good people. These are the same company that left the dead body of a worker in the warehouse until calling the ambulance like 4 hours after they died. Like this is Amazon. This is what they do. These are not good people. And so his name was Chris Smalls. He worked for Amazon New York. He led the strike and they fired him. Now Bill De Blasio is looking into it because you can't do that. If U.S. the workers have a right to protest or just go on strike if certain things are demanded, but they also have the right to unionize in the United States. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's in New York they have a right to unionize, but I think it might need to be whole United States. And so when they retaliated against him for you trying to unionize, that's illegal. Do you think anything's gonna happen with this, Ray? How do you feel about this?
Well, I mean, it's also in New York, which is right now the epicenter of the coronavirus in the United States.
Right, way more
And
than everyone
obviously, there's
else.
and obviously workers are afraid of getting the disease as well,
Right,
because there's been a lot. I mean, not a lot, but quite a few cases inside the Amazon warehouses
right.
where people are getting sick.
Not only Amazon, but Walmart, Whole Foods, they all had, which is owned by Amazon. They all have cases of coronavirus.
Even Whole Foods, people are beginning to unionize. I mean,
Right,
get together.
right, exactly. So even at Whole Foods, they expect people are starting to strike. Instacart, people want to strike. Amazon, people want to strike. You same with others things as well. People were striking Uber, Lyft, all these things where you have to interact with other people, but they don't want to give you any pay for it. They want to give you benefits. They don't want to do anything for you, but they'll tell you you're essential. We need your help, blah blah. But that's the thing that's really annoying about this is that you have upper management, right? You have the executives. Oh, we need your help. We all have to work together. Blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Can you take a $200,000 pay cut out of your $15 million salary so that we could get more benefits? Nah, that's cool. We'll work together. That means you work, and we'll just work here with our money. It's cool though. Like you're happy. We're all happy. We're doing best for the country. Yeah, right. It's crazy.
It just it boggles my mind that workers even have to do this in the first place. But we do live in the United States where capitalism is
Yeah,
number one.
yeah,
I mean, it's the first thing that everyone promotes. It's the first thing people like to be proud of the United States for. And here you go. Here are the results of living on the capitalism in
yeah,
general,
yeah. I mean, to
where
me,
profits and
if I were to be honest, I think this is why people are only getting a $1,200 check. I think this is exactly what it is. Because if you give people too much money, right? Too
yeah,
much money, this is what's gonna happen. Because they're like, okay, cool, I have enough money for even if it's just a month or two. I don't need that
uh,
job. It treats me because like you see it right now with younger people. Not many young people are into the workforce like that because one, it's changed, but two, they don't like the conditions of the job. They're just like the managers are going to be assholes. The uh, the uh, the CEO is not going to care about me, so I'm just not going to work for the company. Screw it. I'll rather work for cheaper somewhere else who's going to value me versus at a big company that's not going to value me. And so you see, they have to pay all these extra bonuses and pensions to these new workers, and the companies that don't, they just don't get them. And so it's like I think the reason why they don't want $1,200 because that way the company could keep their thumb on your neck, right? They can keep the foot on the neck. If you have too much money, you don't need them. What do? You unionize because if they fire you, you're fine. You have money to fall back on. But if they pay
Yeah,
you just enough so where you don't have enough money to fall back on, but you can pay your bills, but not enough for you to fall back on, then you can be like,
yeah,
oh, I can't strike because I need this job. They want to keep people desperate.
yeah,
That's why it's only twelve hundred
yeah.
dollars.
Yeah, I mean, thank God that my mom works in a job where there's a union, and right now she's getting some unemployment benefits.
Right,
And she recently got a call back to her job, and she works as a room attendant.
right.
All right, and obviously, in this places is where the chances of getting sick are very high.
Yep.
And obviously, she came back to work yesterday, and she said that obviously there's some people staying in there. They're not allowing anyone in, but there's a huge shortage on people working.
Right.
Right, how little housekeepers are not working because they're afraid of getting sick, and the people who are the top working are, the supervisors, the general or the managers are the ones who are start um, getting the positions of housekeepers because there's not enough people,
Right.
and they even took advantage of her being there because she said, "Oh, look, you usually make 8 rooms in a day. Now you're gonna do 12 or 13."
Right.
And they said, "Okay, cool. We're gonna get some like extra hours, meaning you're gonna get paid more, right?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no. We want you to do this all over
Exactly.
in the 8 hours you have.
Right.
And if you don't," and I was like, "What? Like, yeah, you don't have to do it. Like, chop, chop, let's go."
Yep.
So she didn't like that. Obviously, she said, "There's a problem if I tell my union, they're not gonna like that either." But this is why, like, they don't want to have unions because my mom gives the benefit to have a union that supports her
Right.
and also it stands for her in these kind of problems
Yeah.
where they could take advantage of the jobs,
Which is what they
where they
want.
tell them, look,
That's what they want.
yeah,
They want to be able to take advantage of the workers. And if you give the workers too much money or they don't need the job, they walk away. And when they walk away, you end up losing. To be honest, you end up losing a lot of talent because you see it at companies all the time where you see someone who's been there 10, 15 years. They walk away and they try to get someone who has the same kind of experience and they don't have it.
yeah,
But then it's like when at times like this happen, it's like all the stuff. It's like I said, it exposes people because all the stuff that they said about community and we treat our workers fair, they're just saying, hey, this is ridiculous. We're in danger of have catching the virus, and you're not giving us the basic stuff to keep us safe. Like you had nurses wearing trash bags one time. Um, it was you see it now. You see that now that people are exposing the bosses, a lot of these companies are just full of shit. I mean, and I think a lot of people are going to find a way. I think this is another reason why I think that people now that they've lost their jobs, they're going to look for other sources of income, look at other ways to get money,
yeah,
and
I,
they're gonna find out that hey, I gotta, for lack of a better term, diversify. And so
yeah,
when that 32% unemployment figure happens, and like these companies need to fill these jobs, a lot of people just be like, screw you.
yeah.
When I needed
Because
you, you didn't help me at all, so I don't care if you need
most people
me.
got screwed. Most
Yeah,
people got screwed right now, and they're getting screwed.
yeah,
And best believe there's gonna be quite a few.
yeah,
I mean, there's gonna be quite a few people suing companies because
yeah.
there's gonna be some of them
Wage theft,
that
all
are
that
just
stuff.
screwing their workers.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you're gonna get fired." Like,
Yeah,
why?
yeah, and then on top of that, like you have the biggest thing was that baby boomers were like the largest working group in the United States because they had one of the largest working groups. They had years of experience. They had they've been around for decades, had all that experience.
Yeah,
Now COVID-19 comes out, and no, it's terrible, but it's kind of annihilating that group of people because they're the ones getting hit by it the most. And
yeah,
then a lot of them took this chance to take early retirement or retirement in general. And so when the economy starts back up, a lot of corporations are going to have a lot of empty chairs. And to be honest, I don't think with the way that they do stuff, I don't think they'll be able to fill them. I don't think they'll be able to. to actually be worth anything anymore. Because I don't think people are gonna want to work for them. Because like you see
Yeah,
it, it's like, hey, I had COVID and you didn't care. I had, I was in danger and you didn't care. So it's like,
yeah,
why would I go work for you? Why would I want? Especially when it comes to millennials and Gen Z, who want companies that care about their well being over the pay. So like, baby would prefer pay. Gen Z and Gen Y, which is millennials, prefer the experience of having a job. They want a group that cares about them. And so it's gonna be a hard thing to convince those people, hey, we're sorry, we made a mistake. They just be like, sure you did.
yeah. Yeah, look what happened in New York, right?
Right.
A lot of these people who are in on service or are like first primary direct contactors with people who happen to be sick or the public place in general,
Yeah.
like police officers and nurses and doctors.
Right.
All these people, most of them are getting sick because of that, right? And because you previously stated that, and most of them lack any efficient uniforms of face mask or I mean, or anything like that is essential for them to take care of themselves
Right.
from getting infected.
Right.
Most of them are getting infected, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, the people who because they need nurses and some doctors, they're pushing these people who are like in the last years of
Oh, right.
becoming
Right. Nursing school.
doctors.
Yeah.
They're they're pushing them just to get out.
Just
Like,
to
okay, I'll
start.
get out.
Right.
Yeah, to start. Even police officers, the cadets. I was like, okay, don't worry. They're
Right.
signing the papers and they're just letting them go out there because there's no one
Right.
to replace
Of
these officers that are getting sick.
course. Because that's what I'm saying is what you had from day one was you had lack of accountability, right? You had lack of accountability in the system. Politicians getting punished for their corruption. Corporations didn't get punished for their corruption. So you have people check out of the system. I don't care
Yeah,
about this. I don't care about that. I'm not going to join the military. Not going to be a police officer. Not going to be a doctor or nurse. A doctor or nurse also has a problem of being really expensive college, right? So
yeah,
you have that added on top of it. And you have these politicians who are never good enough to lead in the first place, in charge of the country, dragged it down, and now that there's an emergency, is inadequate. You have the third largest nation on earth, right? The third largest population on earth, the richest country on earth, and somehow we can't get enough people into these well-paying jobs. Police officers, doctors, those are well-paying jobs, right? Well, at least in California, they're well-paying, and it's ridiculous. But that's where it stems from. If you have no one wants to join the military if they're gonna go to war every week. No one wants to join a police officer if they're gonna say, "Hey, here's a tank. Go out there and blow some people up so they can hate you and shoot at you." No one's gonna be a
yeah,
nurse and a doctor. And no one's gonna be a nurse and a doctor if as soon as something hits the fan, the hospital's gonna go bankrupt. Or they're gonna just say, "Hey, it's your fault that this happened because you didn't solve the
yeah,
problem." Like it's like no one wants to do that, but because there's no accountability in the system, you're telling people, "Hey, go do that anyway," and good luck. I hope you make it. I hope
yeah.
you get to the end of your life with this job. The end.
Yeah, that's the sad reality we live in right now, and unfortunately, hopefully, in the coming years, just we the young generations able to just kick these motherfuckers out
But that's
because
the thing because it's like Gen Z. Okay, I'm a millennial, right? You're a millennial.
yeah, yeah,
When we graduated from college, we had an economic downturn, right? So we graduated to a job market that was terrible, right? Gen Z is graduating from college now, and we're in the middle of an economic downturn. That's two generations already screwed, just like that, just two in a row. Or what? Next 10 years are gonna hit up the next generation, mess them up too. Like, and it's gonna keep
yeah.
saying,
Well,
it's crazy.
well, if we allowed it to, but I think a lot of generations that are coming in are gonna benefit from the fact that most of us are gonna try to like, okay, this shit is on the toilet. Now we have to pick it up one way or another.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to pick ourselves up. We're gonna have to pick up the economy.
and,
and we're gonna make things better for everyone based on the previous
and,
experiences that we
and
had.
that's why, and that's what I always tell people why a lot of people voted for Trump in the first place. Because like you see, you say, hey, they want to burn down a system, and that's crazy. Why would you want to do that? Yada yada yada. But you have to really put yourself in their position, right? If you if the house is burning down, right, if the whole thing is already on fire, what's one more plank falling down? You know what I'm saying? What's one more
Yeah,
body amongst the foundation? You're gonna have to fix it anyway. So why not just build it up from scratch? Some people think that way. Some people say, hey, we could just reinforce it. All people's like, no, you just have to tear it down and build it back up.
yeah,
Right? That's how it works. So we say, hey, we can vote them all out. And maybe. But then some people will be like, nah, man, you just have to let the US collapse, lose our place in the world, let things get crazy. And then once these people start running for the hills, because that's what they always do, they abandon ship first, build it back up, and then make sure it doesn't happen
yeah.
again.
I think that's gonna happen because China is fastly becoming the number one country, the number one economy in the world.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do. That's why Donald Trump is so anxious to go back to, so anxious for everyone to go back to work, because he's seeing China just like, oh shit, they recover and now they're back to their own
Well, they
business,
got
and
they got
they're
they got
seeing this
crippled.
as an
They
opportunity.
got crippled again because when they ended the social distancing.
Second way,
Yeah, second wave. But if he was so scared of China, what should he have done? Hey, guess what, guys? We're gonna stop the coronavirus early. Of course not.
yeah, but you know who we're talking to.
Yeah,
We're talking about Donald Trump and most of the Democrats who don't give a fuck.
it's crazy.
We talk about in the other video. If you guys saw that
Yeah,
30-minute video where we said all the reasons why these people, we are in a position we are right now,
yeah,
um, is based on incompetence and obviously the lack of care from
yeah,
our leaders.
yeah. It's crazy. It's like you see the paradox. They want to treat you like trash, but they want you to be They want you to give maximum productivity. It's like, come on. Even in China, where they are even worse with this stuff, even they're like, okay, this is enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah,
crazy. Well, the people are, not the government. Oh, and it's like it's crazy, man. It's just like it's just ridiculous.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
You have to leave it.
Any last words, Ray?
Sayonara.
Say it in
I
Spanish. Say
mean,
it in Spanish too.
adios.
Now English,
Goodbye.
French.
Au revoir. Au revoir. I can't even
See, there you go. Ray knows four languages. He's talented.
shut up.
Either way, we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right.